We're going to look at one of my favorite chapters of the Bible today, 2 Peter chapter 3, and I'm going to start reading right at the first verse. Beloved, I now write to you this second epistle, in both of which I stir up your pure minds by way of reminder, that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior, knowing this first, that scoffers will come in the last days, walking according to their own lusts, and saying, Where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. The recent earthquake in Italy took more than 1,500 lives and damaged more than 15,000 buildings. That in itself is a horrific story. But what makes it even more tragic is the fact that somebody had already sounded the alarm bells a couple of weeks earlier, warning the citizens of the city that increasing radon levels seemed to indicate that a major earthquake was coming. The authorities, unfortunately, didn't believe this guy. Nobody can predict an earthquake, they said, and they forced him to take the warning off his website. Cars with loudspeakers had been driving through the town, warning people to get ready for something big. And those were shut down too. The public officials, understandably, thought that it was raising unnecessary alarm and could conceivably lead to civil unrest. The man who predicted the quake said it was coming March 31st. And everybody laughed because there was nothing but a minor tremor that day. The laughter stopped abruptly on the 6th of April, when the city was ravaged by a major earthquake that resulted in unbelievable damage. As it turns out, our hero was only wrong by a matter of days. So the question is, was the earthquake a few days later just a coincidence, or did this man really know something? When I heard the story, it reminded me of this passage in Peter's letter, where he describes the general mindset of the last generation to live on planet Earth. In the last days, Peter says, people are going to openly mock the idea that Jesus is coming. Nobody can predict an event like that, and the planet will just keep on going in spite of what Christians have said for hundreds of years. Once in a while, there have even been Christians who have mistakenly chosen dates for Christ's return, and he didn't come. But does that mean Christians are wrong? Given the current state of world affairs, I strongly suspect it won't be long before the world discovers the Bible was right. Jesus really is coming again. And for those who laughed, or those who chose to ignore it, the consequences are going to be disastrous. For more than 3,500 years, Bible prophecy has never been wrong. And it's not going to be wrong about Christ's return. And that means that paying attention to clear warnings is always going to be the better way to live.